I say nice things about you? That would be cool.
All right. Wow, it's the marathon. Mina Oshki Babun, Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the Poetry Project's 51st annual New Year's Day marathon reading. Love the enthusiasm from the first row here. My name is Nicole Wallace, and I'm the executive director of the Poetry Project. Thank you. Now I'm blushing. I'm really honored and thrilled to be here with you all today for what has been and what continues to be the Poetry Project's largest fundraiser of the year, the Marathon. The Marathon is a true force of nature. It's a conjuring, an exorcism, a series of invocations and a chaotic blessing, and a much beloved and necessary annual converging of poetry, movement, music, and performance. And of course, this all makes sense, as the tradition of this day, our marathon, was brought into being in 1974 by someone who I consider to be a force of nature herself, a prolific and electric being, a much-loved poet, and Poetry Project co-founder, Anne Waldman. Yeah. Our deepest gratitude to Anne today and always for all she's done for poetry and the Poetry Project for the past 60 or so years. At this point, I can't remember how many marathons I've helped organize during my time at the project. But what I do remember about each marathon is how it unfolds, how it becomes its own prismatic being, a steady hum of energy, heart, presence, listening, and connection. The 140 performers and readers who have generously donated their time for today's program, an incredible 10 hours of performance, community, and gathering, will undoubtedly dazzle and move us into our very own New Year's Day time slip. The marathon is a unique and dear poltergeist of sorts. We conjure it. Its being builds into presence throughout the day, into a steady yet frenetic energy that has the capacity to transport and transform. This is its spirit, the spirit of the marathon. Putting on this event together is not for the faint of heart, but rather it's one that takes an entire community of those who are firmly rooted in heart and in devotion to the project to pull this day off with grace and with warmth. This includes foremost the 150 plus volunteers who will join us over the course of the day. They're the ones that really, truly make this day possible. I also want to thank our amazing tech staff, Noah, James, Pedro, Jim, Maddie, our videographers, Lix, Matt, Gary, and Vince, our lighting technicians today, Nico and Ben, our cart captioners, and our kitchen and bar staff from Tapu's Catering, and of course Ted Roeder, who is here to photograph again. Thank you, Ted. I also want to extend a special thanks to Dave Morse for his coordination of the Immaculate Book Table that is set up in the Parish Hall, to Mel Elberg for their help and support today, and to Tracy McTagg, who will be making cocktails this evening. And of course, to my dear colleagues, Miran Arsanios, Anna Cataldo, Will Ferris, Kay Gabriel, Roberto Montez, and Ethan Philbrick, who have worked tirelessly for months to curate, organize, and coordinate all the complex logistics and programming for today. Yeah. It's an incredible honor to work here with them, with you, to learn from you all, to do this work together in community, as a staff, but more importantly as friends, comrades, and fellow poets. You all make this work in this place a dream. I want to reshare the words of my colleague Will, who said it best. As we head into another year of compounded grief, unprecedented challenges, and palpable uncertainty, we've been looking forward to gathering here with you all today, because what is there to hold on to each other, this day, our joy, our rage, our impossible project? How do we hold on to it? By coming together, by organizing with impossible belief. Now, let's get this marathon going. I'm truly so honored and pleased to be joined by my dear, dear friend, my mentor, past Poetry Project Director from 2007 to 2018, and honestly, the reason why I'm up here today, Stacy Samazik, who will be hosting with me this first hour. And I will let Stacy kick it off.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, it's not afternoon, it's morning. Is it afternoon? It is afternoon. Woo, it's surreal. I was asked last night, or 2 nights ago, to say a few words about Nicole becoming the director. And I said it would be my honor. So yes, we're here to celebrate Nicole's appointment from interim executive director to the actual executive director position. Over the course of working with them and in our friendship since I retired, I've watched them become the kind of leader the Poetry Project needs. Someone who understands its history not as a weight, but as a source of momentum. And who knows that leading a place as complex and dynamic as this means constantly recalibrating and asking, what is the Poetry Project right now? Nicole has the rare ability to hold the complexities of politics, culture, and individual people, artists, in her mind at once, and to act with clarity and care. She sees trouble coming before it arrives and does the quiet, steady work of steering around it. And while we often celebrate the public-facing parts of leadership, I want to shine a light on her unglamorous but vital efforts, the Excel spreadsheets, tabs, which I never figured out, knowing the dozens of rules and regulations of public funding agencies, answering all of our emails and meeting with us and listening to us about our concerns, without which the Poetry Project could not call itself an organization. Today, we're not only welcoming Nicole into this role, we're recognizing the steadfast brilliance she has already brought to it and to the Poetry Project over the past almost 20 years. I'm excited to see what the project will be now with Nicole at the helm. Congratulations. Our first reader is Pamela Sneed, poet. Yep. Performer, visual artist, educator. Please welcome Pamela.
So while I was on my way over here, I can't believe it, but as I was walking from the train, I noticed somebody with like red hair and a mustache. And I realized, and first I smiled because I knew that the face was familiar. And then I realized that it was Daniel Penny, who had killed Jordan Neely. And he was strolling down 2nd Avenue, like enjoying his, New Year's Day. And then I realized it, and I wanted to say, and I'm remiss to say it because there are children in the audience, but fuck you, Jordan. Fuck you, Daniel Penny. Fuck you. How dare you come to the East Village? So anyway, and I want to welcome Nicole, and Contrary to what's been stated, and the white man from Shark Tank who tweeted after the election, "Congratulations, Mr. Trump, you've won the election fair and square." Contrary to all those in the left pointing fingers, trying to place blame for the catastrophe, I have to interject and say, dear people, you must understand this too was a stolen election. From the time before and after an angry mob converged on the Capitol in January 2021, attempting to physically change the election results, from the time they defecated on the desk of Nancy Pelosi, smeared feces on the walls, contrary to reports, people did die that day. An insurrection led by the former president who describes it now as a day of love. This same man, a convicted felon, broke all rules, was allowed to run for office again, whereas if he had received the same treatment as P. Diddy Combs, he wouldn't be heard from again. But even liberals, everyone supports and easily accepts the criminality and incarceration of black men. Besides the fact that the Trump presidency was basically bought by a white billionaire who says he developed an app that could track election results before anyone, not to mention all the bad theater and assassination attempts, the big band-aids on his and his followers' ears, Trump never followed protocol, never went to the hospital, he never heard from the shooter's family or anyone, all of which was a manipulation of the public. If you read my newest book, you know I go in on the film Queen and Slim by Lena Waithe. After the black fugitives shoot a cop, they go on the run, hiding, as they say, in plain sight. She wears a tiger stripe mini dress and high heels. He wears a velvet jogging suit. They drive in Uncle's Cadillac. It all seems so ludicrous, but it's basically the same strategy that Trump and his cronies used to steal the election, allowed to say and do things any of us would be fired for or be incarcerated, condemned. Using this strategy of hiding in plain sight, we even helped him. The media, the citizens, the law. Hello. Many years ago, back when Caitlyn Jenner outed herself as transgender and shockingly a Republican, I had in mind to remake the Dickens classic A Christmas Carol and to reimagine Caitlin as Scrooge, being visited by the ghost of Christmas past, to show her the harm Republicans cause LGBTQIA communities. I imagine her being led into the wards of Bellevue and St. Vincent's during the late 80s and early 90s, seeing the skeletal bodies of those who contracted AIDS, the purple lesions and harrowing coughs, eyes excreting immense sorrow like yellow pus and blood-red fluid, those who'd been dumped off and discarded like the casualties of World War II. I imagine feeble arms trying to reach out, touch her, crying for help, trying to communicate, like the father of the critically disabled boy Tiny Tim, whom Scrooge refuses to help. Recently, after seeing the red-pink eyes of the devil, former President Ronald Reagan by the Silence Equals Death Collective and Dan Burgess Collection, I was brought back to that time of another dictator who refused to help those afflicted by a deadly and ghastly plague, much like Trump today, who once refused to treat those afflicted with COVID. With Trump as president, we are here again with detainees, racist rhetoric, scapegoating, deportations, threatening to tear families and communities apart, internment camps, care refused to cis women and transgender people, wars ceaselessly waged on brown people globally. And this may be a part of another poem, but my shoulders and my chest heave, sigh, contract as I hear reports of people killed and dying, another bomb dropped on Gaza, and I'm so tired of violence. Day to day, in the personal and the political, in cinemas, on streets, in relationships that are supposed to soothe, all I see now is gray obliteration. There are no easy answers, only a multiplicity of strategies to fight, to persevere. Having lived through so many wars, we are prepared to fight. 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 Wars, we are prepared to fight.
Pamela, thank you. What a way to start this marathon off. Our next reader is Morgan Vo. We struggle towards a free Palestine. Please welcome Morgan.
Happy New Year. To you and your happiness. What I really want is to make a movie, not my poem, so I've opened my mouth for the front of a film. We close the day shot with a tract on the snot otter. Dream closes just like doors, clear electric between cold air outside, dark stuff within. A hand closes round otter, knowing you can't keep this forever, this slug. Our dreams are nothing. Their sweet, scented, brown mucus, bacilly hair entwining my knuckles, covered over black eyes and soft heads, signaling birth to me and rest. Warmth protected in disintegration, shelf lives, is lost, my dear dreams, they fall off. Can you remember that afternoon when the park was half vacant, walking home in each other's arms? I am collecting a fund for the preservation of lust, where the wide sky, slow as it is, was key to the car. It was 6 o'clock or so, with white, dappled, pearlescent shell. I used to wonder, what would I do lost in hell? Would I cry? Then wondered regular if I could escape this hell, this grand city. Could I ever get away? Now I think, well, what do I wear now I'm here? too scalding often at the mention of snow. The ferries are back, and they're 24/75. They take long, and when on them you freeze. Now I know I will have my feeling, then outlive it. Will it return to hang on the end? And what will the last moment be like? The thoughtfulness of a gazing star? Reach back in the swamp with grip released. When I saw the salamander, I thought of you and how mud grows, for what I don't know. So we poke at the ground with nothing to fear. The tongue adds a lash out of curious nature, while the tail trickles over some common refrain. Thank you.
Our next reader is Emily Johnson, an artist who makes body-based work, a citizen of the Yupik Nation. She's a land water protector and activist